Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I call this meeting of Pamtranc City Council to order. It is Monday, May 10th, 2022, and it's 6:01. Would the clerk call the rolls, please?
Councilman Rafai,
Present.
Councilwoman Jakowski,
Present.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Present.
Councilman Abramaki,
Here.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yeah, present.
Councilman Hassan is not present, and Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
Present?
Yes.
Thanks. We have quorum.
All right, let's do the pledge of allegiance, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Do we have any community announcements?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I just wanted to announce that on June 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. here at City Hall, we're going to have a city resource fair. We're going to have people like DTE, Wayne County Healthy Communities, the RAP program with Wayne Metro, low-income household information, and we would encourage all residents to attend because there'll be real opportunity to sign up in place that day. We're getting to the time where we're going to start water shutoffs in the community, and so many of our residents would be eligible for the RAP program, which directly gives $1,000 toward your delinquent water bill. It gives you continuing $25 a month support. The low-income household gives an additional $650 if you're very much in arrears. So this is a program that can help a lot of our residents. So June 3rd, 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Resource Fair. We just finished finalizing that today. So there'll be a flyer coming out shortly, and I'm going to ask some council members to help do some translation on that so that you can share it each week on Facebook up until that event. And I'd like any and all council members who are able to help with translations and available that day to spend some time here helping our residents that afternoon, that morning and afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other announcements?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I want to pull up the Pamtranc Health Hike, I'm looking for the flyer. I thought maybe, okay, so that, I'm sorry, the Hamtramck Health Hike is run in conjunction with the Hamtramck Drug Free Community Coalition, and that is free. It will be on Saturday, May 21st, starting here at Zussman Park at, I believe it's 11 a.m., I apologize.
9:30.
9:30.
9:30, I'm sorry, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
At 9:30, and they'll do a hike around town, and then they'll end back up at Zussman Park.
Okay,
So, thank you,
Thank
and
you.
everyone's welcome.
thanks.
Mr. Mayor.
Just to add this.
Yes, Councilor.
I think the same day is the citywide garage sales, so, or yard sale or whatever you're using. And so that day, there's no permit fees or anything like that to do a yard sale. So if you have things to sell, that's a great day to do it.
Just want to add something to the chief. There will be first 350 people receive free T-shirt, backpack, lounge raffle prizes too. So on this 21st May.
Great, thank you. Can I get the flyer to load fast?
Yeah.
My turn.
I almost forgot. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, we will be talking more about the clean sweep, but that is this Saturday. We'll give some more details under reports and presentations
Right.
today.
Okay. All right, we'll move to proclamations, recognitions, and presentations, and we'll start with presentation for Historical Commission and Art and Culture Commission 100-year celebration of Pamtranc.
Mr. Mayor, we have both Lynn Blasey and Greg Kowalski here, each from Historical Commission and Arts and Culture. They'll come up and give a presentation at this time.
Thank you.
And we'll share that on the screen.
Updated ones, but here's a printout.
Thank you. Is this the updated one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity
Lynn.
for allowing us to come and do a little presentation here. As everybody knows, we're in our celebrating our 100th anniversary. It's been a little bit more subdued than past celebrations, anniversaries, largely because of COVID. A lot of events that we wanted to hold, we really couldn't do it. And a lot of the things that we wanted to do indoors just couldn't be done. So we kind of pushed everything towards the summer, and now we're starting to get more into things, into the, as the season warms up. And just, how do you want to do this? You want to do the PowerPoint?
Yeah, sure.
This won't take long, though. As you can see, we are celebrating the 100th anniversary and the number of events, as I just said. This goes through some of, you can, the next slide, please. This goes over some of the historical events that we've faced, we've gone through over these centuries. But of course, the big year for us is 1922, when we incorporated as a city, even though Hamtramck goes much farther back. But one of the key factors of the history of Hamtramck, almost no matter how far you go back, is the diversity of Hamtramck. It's always been a part of us, and that's one of the key things that we are going to be promoting throughout the entire celebration through the year. So you're going to see more and more of that as we get into the summer and even into the fall, going towards next year. We've got looking for things as far away as next New Year's Day, actually. So Hamtramck is a great city. It's got a great history. We're really looking forward to celebrating some more. The team that we've got working here, of course, is the Arts and Culture Commission, the City Commission, Historical Commission, Hamtramck Central Block Club, the Detroit Football Club wants to get involved. We had a meeting with them already. And really excited about it.
Rich was here at the beginning.
We have started some things, like we've started the Summer in Time program, and that's a passive program where people write their memories of Hamtramck or their favorite thoughts about Hamtramck. They submit it to the museum. We have a presentation, a board set up at the front of the museum with their stories as they wrote them, along with photos. And surprisingly popular. People are coming there just to read it, so that's very encouraging. And when we're done with that, we're going to save all of those and put them into a special archive. So the biggest thing coming up, though, immediately is the Memorial Day celebration, which will be held, obviously, on Memorial Day. We have a number of groups coming in, national organizations, the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Sons of the American Revolution, another group called the Sons of the Children of the Revolution, or the Sons of the Revolution. And there's even another group called the Children of the Revolution. It's a huge family thing that's coming together on this. But it's going to be a lot of different organizations. We're going to be rededicating the grave of Colonel Pamtranc at the park, and they're going to be putting up some new little memorial plaques throughout the gravesite as well, too. So that's that in the world of historical preservation, that's a pretty big national event. So that'll get us a lot of good publicity for doing that. In June, we're going to be doing the historical scavenger hunt. We did one of these last year. It was very, very popular. We're going to do one with a little bit more expanded, with a historical theme to it, and get more people involved in that. We're also having a special author coming to do a book signing. This will be more of a fun kind of event at the Moose Lodge in Hamtramck and Conant. And the theme is beer, which, for the history of Hamtramck, that really goes together. But in July, we're going to be looking at some more events at Sussman Park. We're going to try and pull some stuff together with that. And we're going to just see, some of these are still tentative, but they will be coming along. Of course, Labor Day, we're going to have the City Festival. That is going to carry a theme of the 100th anniversary. We're working with the event organizers to get more specific on how we're going to do that. We know we're going to have setups over there, and we're talking over some ideas on this as well. And there's possibility of an event on Friday evening of the festival that would be devoted specifically towards the anniversary. And this year we do not have the Polish Day Parade. That is gone. We are working on establishing a Hamtramck parade, which will be more diversified and really more, I think, actually proper for the city of Hamtramck, so that it's more inclusive. We want to have that as well. So in the fall, we're going to have programs with the schools where we can get the kids more involved in things. And hopefully in the summer and fall, we're going to be doing more programs at the museum, presentations about the history of Hamtramck. And talking about the history of Dodge, Maine, because we can't get into it too much here, but Dodge, Maine was really the reason we're here today. Because if it wasn't for Dodge, Maine, there would be no city of Pamtranc. It would have been absorbed by the city of Detroit, and it was the immigrants who came to Dodge, Maine, who pushed the city to incorporate, pushed the village at that time to incorporate as a city. And by doing that, that stopped the process of having Detroit annex Hamtramck. So without Dodge, Maine, there would be no Hamtramck here right now. So, we do have, the website is up. We are, you know, give me the address on it? Yeah, that's the GoFundMe, yeah. We're really working on activating that too. It's Pamtranc100.com, and we are going to be expanding that as we move forward too, to get more community involvement in that as well. One other thing I want to mention is that Robin sent an invitation to come to the museum on May 20th. It's an informal gathering. It's going to be between 3 and 6 o'clock. The idea is to have you please come and just visit to see what we're doing. Where it's casual, we'd like to get to know you better, we'd like to get you to see better, because we are approaching a stage of our existence where we're not just a historical museum anymore. We are a cultural entity in this city, working with people across the city as well too. And we're really interested in doing much, much more with all the people of Pamtranc. So we'd like to get a little closer relationship with the city government to see more of what we're doing as well too. Lynn, do you have anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
That's good.
Any questions?
One quick question was, are you still looking for a board member? I know you had an open seat at one
Yes,
point.
we still have that, yes, we do. So if you have somebody who would be, we're trying to diversify our board. We just added a new lady, African-American lady to the board, and we want to get Bangladeshi, we want to get Yemeni, we want to get Bosnian, we want to get more. And we can expand our board. This is not the historical commission, this is the Friends Board. So we want to do that too. So, and that's it. If you have no questions, I kept it under 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so move to item B, honoring reserves and proclamation to honor fallen police officers. And we have the proclamation. I can go ahead and read that. Whereas in 1963, the Congress of the United States and President John F. Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as National Police Week. And whereas our law enforcement agencies play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms which have been guaranteed by the Constitution to every American citizen, and whereas it is important that people throughout our country know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police departments and the members of our law enforcement agencies recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas to recognize National Police Week 2022 and to honor the service and sacrifice of those law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty while protecting our communities and safeguarding our democracy. And whereas there are more than 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, including all the dedicated officers of Pamtranc Police Department, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Hamtramck officially declares that the week of May 15 to 21, 2022 as National Police Week, commemorating law enforcement officers, past and present, who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established for themselves an inviolable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all residents.
Thank Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, I think the police chief wanted to stand up and introduce her ranks, have them come forward. Well, you came around and we would like to do a group picture. Today, not only are we honoring fallen police officers, but we're also going to by name honor our police reserves, of which Khalil Rafai was a member until he was elected to office. So we thank you for your service also, Councilman. But we're honoring them because much of what they do is voluntary. You know, our officers receive a paycheck for their work, but oftentimes those that volunteer their services don't get any recognition. So we're combining the two today, and we have the chief with us and long-serving member, but I'll have the chief come up, and if you want to come around, and then our officers will join you for a photo. So you may want to give some names.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
You can shove that in the corner.
Want them to hold this also? You don't have to present that.
Chief and then
So we have our Director of Community Safety and Services, Max Marino. Step up, please, member of the police department as well. Okay. I have Sergeant Mervin. I have Sergeant Wood. I have Sergeant Lysong. Officer Benvenuti. Officer Doherty. Officer Gonzalez. And Officer Hawkins. Behind the hallway there.
you want to do this picture with this group and then add the reserves in after?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so you're gonna have to take some direction on gathering. So you're gonna get uncomfortably close.
I'm short, so I'm just gonna stand all the way
If you stand every other person.
I think mix it.
Yeah, probably one of the taller ones here, so.
I'm just short, so.
Make sure, if you can see the camera can see you.
Okay, say cheese.
And then, do you want the reserves to
And then,
join
yes,
now?
I also have Chief Wilford and Deputy Chief Goldberg of the reserves.
One on this side maybe.
Have one of you guys come in.
That's better, yeah, that looks more, yeah.
You ready? See. Took a few, so hopefully I got everyone without waiting.
Mr. Mayor, do you have the certificates and we can give that to, two members of the reserves right now? Do you have those at your
I have them
place?
right, no, I have them right here.
Okay.
All right. There's a couple of things. City of Pamtranc, certificate of appreciation, Reserve Chief William Wilford. The City of Pamtranc thanks you for your bravery, honor, and commitment. We truly appreciate your excellence in serving and protecting our community. Thank you.
Trying to get it just right where I get all the council. There we go. That was, I couldn't get you in it. I got you. I just had to adjust, my fat fingers were.
And the same one will go for Reserve Deputy Chief Richard Doble.
And I do want to point out that Deputy Chief Dobek has been with the Hampton Police Reserves for well over 50 years.
Wow.
Probably about 55 years. Mr. Mayor, I have one more that I wanted to give a former reserve officer who was with the department and actually only stepped down to take over his council responsibilities.
It's not as nice as I.
They're getting ready for the soccer game, the DCFC game tonight, so I know they were about to be here, but they were not able to make it, so we thank them and we'll, give certificates for all of them. Thank you very much.
You want to start the last on the address or give a speech? There's a speech prepared. You're not going to give it.
Thank you.
Oh, let's not carefully.
Thank you.
All right, can you continue now?
Yes.
All right, item C, Hamtramck clean sweep. And that will take place, we have the Centennial Hamtramck clean sweep will be on Saturday, May 14th, 2022 at 11 a.m. We'll gather at Zosman Park in front of the City Hall. And you can join, bring your friends, and win prizes, supplies, snacks, contests, and surprises. All levels of ability are welcome, and adaptive supplies, reaching tools are available. Contact Max for any questions to register or with any questions.
This Max.
And Mr. Mayor, this is Max Gilganis, is
Oh,
passing
okay,
out the
that's-
flyer. She's our newly hired community coordinator. And I just want to thank Mayor and Council for all your interest in the work that's being done by so many amazing volunteers in our city. We are pleased that we're already seeing a cleaner, more vibrant city, and many active volunteers that are coming day after day after day and helping out. We all love Hamtramck, we have that fierce loyalty. Even the people that complain on Facebook, they're thinking about better things for Hamtramck, and we appreciate that as well. We are home to an ever-changing population of people, and so education is real important. So bring your new neighbor to the clean sweep. Let them learn what we're doing. And we have a few council members that are gonna be taking a flyer we're creating around, talking about, trimming your grass and how you put out your garbage and bring your can back into the yard. So there's a lot of things that our community coordinator, Max Galginis, is going to be doing. And we can all model that behavior. Be enthusiastic about these events, come to these events. I know a group of city hall workers who have commitments on Saturday. There's been a few deaths in our work family, extended work family. And so people that can't come on Saturday, including me, I'll come at the very beginning, but I have a 12 o'clock funeral to attend. We're gonna do a cleanup around this area, so that the area around City Hall is clean when you come to Clean Sweep on Saturday. So it starts with Clean Sweep, but it'll continue on throughout our 100-year anniversary of Hamtramck. We want to present well to not only our community, but to those that visit us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
And this is who passed out the invitation, our community coordinator. She's here at City Hall nearly every day. And you see her on Facebook promoting good things about Hamtramck.
Thank you, and I just want to mention that unfortunately I will not be able to attend because we have the Federal Bar Association Conference and I'm one of the speakers on Saturday. My panel will start at 12:15, so I wouldn't be here, but I will try to send some friends and recruit some people to participate in this event.
Mr. Mayor, I would encourage you to do what City Hall is going to do. We're going to do this during our lunch hour. So one evening this week, gather a group of friends, do some cleanup. If you need bags
Sure.
of gloves, we can supply those. Snap some pictures and we'll add them to the Facebook post.
Oh.
That would be a wonderful thing. For anyone who can't attend, do your own little cleanup and then post it on Facebook so everyone knows you're a part.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move to item D, RRC training item, Urban Village Planning Checklist.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And as you know, Mayor and Council, we are still working on a redevelopment-ready community status and best practices. This is an article about having an urban village. Of course, Hamtramck is very urban, and there's things that we can do to improve. Take time to read this when you are at home. We share this all with the staff as well, so that we're all on the same page with you as we achieve this status. And this one is about urban village planning, what we can do to maximize accessibility and have our residents happy. I think it says happy, wealthy, and happy. Healthy, wealthy, and happy. That's what it is. It's a good article, but it's with specific targets on behaviors that we can promote. So thank you.
Alrighty, so we will move to the additions, deletions, agenda approval. Is there any additions or deletions?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
The city received word yesterday, about 8:30 last night, and I'm very proud to say that we applied for an FDCVT grant, and we were awarded $195,800. And the sole purpose of that grant is for safety. Police safety surveillance, that means adding cameras to our building, making sure that our hallways are safe, control access to our doors to make sure every single door has controlled access, which now we do not have, and doing the same with the fire department for the safety of our employees and the visitors there. There is no match requirement for that grant. It is a straight-up direct appropriation to the city. They reviewed the contractor that was submitted along with the grant for the estimate for what it would cost to do the work that we need to do here at City Hall to make it a safer building. And they approved that as well. So upon your acceptance of this grant, we will move forward with facilitating it, and over the next year, make major improvements to our building and facility throughout the city. So tonight, I'm asking you to add, please, as an emergency addition, so that we can get this going immediately, Resolution 2022-59 that I shared with you, accepting the financially distressed city, village, township, FCVT grant. And I will also add that the governor's office called today asking for the mayor to make a quote. There'll be a press release tomorrow going out, and I hope they'll incorporate his quote into the press release that goes all over the state of Michigan that announces this grant and others that were awarded to other communities.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
And since I described it all, if you want to add it under consent agenda, it's fine with me.
I think we can just go ahead.
Okay,
There's nobody opposing that, so just add it to the consent agenda.
actually, they have to vote on it and then vote on the consent.
Yep.
So you're voting on the
Yeah, we have
amendment.
to-
Motion and second, and we vote on amending,
on the-
and
Yes.
then vote on the amended agenda.
Yes, yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilwoman Chakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Albermaki,
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the addition of the resolution is added to the agenda. Now you can go about.
All right, so that would be item D in the consent agenda. And now we'll move to the public input.
Yes.
So we'll vote again on the consent agenda. So,
I have Lynn Blasey, Sabre Street in Hamtramck.
Hi, Mayor and Council. I forgot that we didn't mention the banners, so those are still forthcoming, Centennial banners to go, not just along Campo through the DDA district, but throughout the entire city for the Centennial. And then if anybody else has programs planned or wants to incorporate the Centennial theme into their activities, the Arts and Culture Commission, AKA me, I have the logo available, so you can brand it, so everything's branded consistently across the city. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mayor, I do have two public comments I'm going to read for you. First one is from Peter Murray. Hello, my name is Peter Murray. I am a property owner in Hamtramck and an arborist. I have questions regarding the contractor's costs and risk assessments. The 2019 management plans foreseeing rates for extreme, moderate, and high-risk pruning are between $58 and $363 per tree. The contractor's rates for pruning is between $75 and $3,400 per tree. Are these pruning rates or actually their removal rates? Number 2, will work orders generated by the city specify a tree's risk rating? If so, who is making risk assessments on behalf of the city? Attached is a rate sheet from Limb Walkers and the rate sheet from the 2019 management plan. Thank you, Peter Murray. And the second one I have from Bill Meyer. I read this and I can hear him in the back of my head. I regret I will not be able to attend tonight's meeting. So please spend my extra 2 minutes wisely. And remember, the parking meter issue is still ticking. Royal Oak residents are even more pissed than we are, and they're doing something about it. Check it out. Also, the school board is still wasting taxpayers' money trying to find a legal reason to fire our school superintendent. Stop the charades and bring back Jalila Ahmed. Peace. Bill Meyer, citizen of the world. And that is it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Should we address the questions that one of the
Can do it when the agenda item comes.
Okay. All right, so we'll move to the consent agenda, and this is approved in a single motion without discussion. Item A, approval of minutes from the April 26, 2022 regular city council meeting. B, approval of invoice register date ending May 10th, 2022. C, approval of pre-approved expenditure date ending May 10th, 2022. And
D.
the one we just added, D, accepting the financially distressed cities, villages, and township grant of $195,800.
I motion.
Second.
All right, vote on that.
Councilman Rafati.
Yes.
Councilman Al Samir.
Yes.
Councilman Al Damati.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the consent agenda is passed.
Thank you. We'll move to the new business. And resolution A would be resolution 2022-56 approving agreement for sale and development of lots at 11738 Sobeski and 3964 Prescott.
Great, thank you so much. Oh,
Yeah. Get a
I'm
motion?
sorry.
Motion.
Second.
All right,
Yes.
discussion.
There we
can
go.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Carolyn Faulkner from the Community Economic Development Department is here to give an overview of that item.
Thank
Oh.
you.
Okay, so fantastic. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for allowing me to speak. As you may know, the city is selling lots for residential development. We've released about 50 for sale. There's a website, there's a booklet. We've actually been receiving a lot of inquiries in the past 2 weeks. There may be more at the next council meeting that I will be presenting, so hopefully. But for tonight, there was a builder coming tonight. I actually told him the meeting was at 7 instead of 6, so I called him and I'm presenting on his behalf. But Dream New Home Builder, he has built before in Hamtramck. He is buying 2 lots, 11738 Sobieski and 3964 Prescott. There are plans included from a home that already was built. He plans to build two-family homes. So there would be a duplex on one, a duplex on another. That he will use the same style and design for the new homes. And that's basically it. There was a photo included of the existing home that was built. Building plans, he's paid the fee, he has a complete application. So this is just for your approval to move forward with the purchase and development agreement.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Council.
I was just wondering, it says the Dream New Home Builders. Who is Dream New Home Builders? There's
Mohammed
no-
Islam was the person who was coming tonight, who is from Dream New Home
If you
Builders.
look at this, the applicant name, if it's an entity, still it has to be an individual name there, signed by the, whatever it is, but the Dream New Home Builders doesn't apply to an individual if his name is not there.
Well, some people have bought, I'm sorry,
I mean, I
Right.
understand the start, he may have a DBA that's doing business as Dream New Home Builders, but should be under an individual name. If there is a, in case of a contract or a lawsuit or someone need to be accountable for that, who would you get hold up for that?
Like Ms. Faulkner mentioned, it's Mohammed Islam, that is his company, he builds
Uh-huh.
houses. That's his signature, and he is the person that has been working directly with Ms. Faulkner.
Okay. But I think it's, I suggest that name, there should, applicant name should be an individual, and then the entity name should be next to it, so it would look like someone we know, or someone's, like, if we go after Dream New Home Builders, it would be like on a website, and someone who's not individual, you know, or the corporations.
so if I could answer what I believe is his company is buying it, not him as a person. That's why, and we want all of our documents to match, so the purchase would go to his company, not to him as an individual, whereas our last two sales went to individuals.
Sure.
We'll make sure that the legal documents are reviewed by Allen Brothers, so that there's nothing that prohibits the city from moving forward with the sale.
Thank you, that would work, yeah.
Mr. Chair,
That's awesome.
I got a question though. If someone wants to purchase this land here, I know we have an agreement of the time for them to build a house. You know, let's say someone doesn't have enough money, I don't know what's the town frame for them to build a house, and now someone runs out of money. So what's the rules on that?
Yep, so right now, basically we have a contract that gives the builder 2 years to build. We believe that is generous to build. If they run into issues, they can come to city council and ask for an extension, so they could actually have 3 years to build the home.
Okay.
So that is what the contract states. In addition, when they apply, they show our department financial documents. That's part of the application. They need to have the money to build, or they need to have a letter from the bank showing that they will finance the building. So if someone comes and they don't really have any documents to support that they can do it financially, we tell them we need those documents to move forward.
And then, let's say after 3 years, and still they don't have enough money.
We would have the right, if we wanted to, as a city, take the land back and resell it to a new developer.
And keep all of their investment. If they paid money, they do not get it back.
And it's clarified to them.
I let them know many times.
And it's in the contract.
It's in the
Does it?
contract, it's even on the deed. So I do let them know, you have to build within the time frame. You know. We did add this thing where you can get an extension if you run into issues, because we don't want that to happen. But I definitely let people know.
And also, Mr. Mayor, if I might, we modeled our contract after the Wayne County, or the Michigan Land Bank, excuse me, and the Wayne County Land Bank. We used them as a resource to develop these contracts. They have been approved by our legal. They looked at it and found, okay, we need this provision because we're a city, not a land bank. So they have been reviewed. And when something comes up, it won't come to council until they've already provided everything that she mentioned. So the financing is in place or cash is in place. Now, we don't reveal that to you. We're not gonna share their bank account with you.
No.
But it has been reviewed and noted that they have that. They'll have to pay the $10,000, and we'll put that money right away in our MERS pension fund. The money will not ever be returned to them. I mean, at this point, there's no turning back once they sign the documents.
That's.
Well, let's say, what from your situation, let's say someone had the money, 3 years passed, and then something really happened to that, tragedy happened to that family. So is there a way we can extend it a little bit more, or how does that work?
You can.
Mm-hmm.
We can't.
Okay.
You can.
So we-
After 2 years, we can't.
Okay.
Administration. Something goes afoul, it comes back to this body, and you either yay or nay. You need to be careful with that, because there are people who will, try to do something unseemingly. And so your job is to protect the city. And so if it's appropriate to extend, if it's appropriate to return funds or something, that'll be on you to decide, but that will not be an administration decision.
Right. That's exactly the point, that if the name is XYZ, who do we go after certain years? And name is, because I remember, I mean, I set up the businesses for individual who wants to open a business or licensing. It's just, I can't not just put under somebody's XYZ name. It has to be an individual that responsible for that entity. You know, so building new homes, dreams, right? And Dream New Home Builders, it's Muhammad Islam. Now we know him, but if he's going to take that responsibility to carry on his duties, and that person would be the ultimately responsible for everything, correct? Yeah.
Our lease,
Thank you.
our lease, somebody they built, they did like 75%. Maybe we give him a second years to finish. But if we did like
Yeah.
20-30%, that's what we can.
And accommodation will become later on, if it's necessary.
Councilman Barmaki?
Is this a state law they have to build with 2 years or 3 years or no?
It's not a state law, no, it's our own policy, and
Can we change it?
you guys could change it. The reason we had that policy was because we want actual development to happen. Sometimes people just buy up a bunch of parcels, they might hold on to them for 20 years, and nothing happens.
Sure.
And Mr. Mayor, if I might, at this time, 2 years is a reasonable amount of time. People, when they come to the application, they're already submitting their plans.
Yes.
They already are saying they have the money to do it.
Yes.
They've worked with a builder, or in this case, the builder is building on behalf of someone who's gonna buy that house and live in it. So in that case, this is already set in motion. They're just waiting to acquire the property. And so if they didn't complete after 2 years, just to be clear for everyone, they could come back and stand here and say, I need 6 months more. I need 90 days more, you know, something like that. And you could say approved or disapproved, and you would base it on what have they done in that 2 years?
Yes.
Did they do nothing?
And they finish it.
Did they do absolutely nothing? You may say,
Say,
you don't tell a good story, you know, we'll sell that to somebody who wants it. And here's the other thing, at some point, we're gonna run out of lots. And the activity we're seeing now, that will happen. So if there are other people who are viable builders, after 2 years, if someone does nothing, you'll want to revoke that and take it back. You may want to extend it, but, you know, 2 years is enough time for them to build.
no, I
Yeah,
said
So
if they
that's
did,
where we started, based on land bank and our lawyer's advice.
Well, if I remember correctly, Detroit Land Bank, they only have 1 year to build,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And so ours is actually already more
Extended a year.
flexible and more
Yes.
generous than the people immediately surrounding us.
And we're responding to what happened during COVID, where it's harder to get builders, harder to get materials, and the land banks are giving those extensions, but they're just doing it a little differently than
So,
us. We just said, let's start with 2 years.
If let's say he bought that property 1 year and a half ago, and he stopped working on it, does it have to be complete in 2 years or no?
Complete in 2 years, or come to you and ask for an extension.
Oh.
Complete in 2 years. And the other ones that you've approved, people have come and pulled their permits now. So, you know, things are moving.
That's-
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
Chair, do you guys clarify to them that if they build this house, their property tax will go up? Is it,
The assessor has been letting them know, yes.
okay. And
It's very clear, you know, when you do this, that, yeah, it's not a $300 lot anymore.
I just want, because I don't want no calls, oh, well,
Yeah.
That's
let's clarify from you guys, tell me, if you build this house, your taxes ain't gonna be 1,200. And
Right,
it is what it is,
exactly.
because building a brand new house is gonna be between 8 to,
no,
Well,
roughly between
based on
5
that
and
square
10.
feet.
I'd be shocked at the person who that's a mystery to at this point. But we are very clear, we do everything above board, out loud, and they sign documents that attribute to that.
And also, one more question.
Mhm.
These contractors or construction companies are building these houses. Are they companies that you guys provide, or are they're the ones that do contact these?
They bring in their own builders and they work with the building department to get those
Going.
plans approved.
And are those
And they get
companies
them.
are legit, are able to build the house within 2 years? Oh, is that their responsibility?
That would be their responsibility, and they work with the building department to pull those permits.
Works inspected. If you are a trades, you know, doing things that are trade work, you have to be a certified builder, you know, there's licensure that happens at the state of Michigan, and that's verified, anybody who's doing work in the city and pulling permits that require a certification.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So some people in the community argue that if we sell all these lots, unconditional sale, without putting a limit to when to build them, that it will save the city some money for the maintenance and all that, and just, do you think that's a good idea?
You want me to speak on that?
I'll speak on it first and then you can bat me home. Because I've always believed that the key to the city's success is economic development. We could have sold all those lots already for $500, for $10,000 and say, don't do any building on it. And it would be sitting as a vacant lot that collects $300 a year in property taxes, and it might go up a little bit each year. But the SEV of an unimproved lot is very low. But the SEV, the state equalized value of an improved lot with a home on it, is high. You all hear people complaining about their property taxes, and you've had presentations here that tell you that they've been held at bay and they're at decades ago when it comes to cost of living for prices here. The property taxes here are not outlandish. They're appropriate for our community. When a house is built on that 100-year-old house has been paying taxes for 100 years. So will this new home. You cannot compare having a vacant lot and having an individual pay taxes on it with an improved lot and say that the city can get ahead. The city will thrive when 50 lots have brand new homes on them. And so having patience, and I know that's hard to have patience to see this happen, but we're seeing it this year. It will happen this year, and it will continue to happen. We're putting out signs on Thursday on all of our vacant lots, and I would encourage community members who want to own a home and build their own home here in Hamtramck to reach out to Ms. Faulkner right away, because they're gonna go fast. And all that information has been on our website, and like she said, you know, in the spring, people start thinking about homes and building. It's the time of year we do it. And so it's activated. You're gonna have this each and every month going forward. So having that property tax with an improved lot, meaning it has a structure on it, is gonna be so much better for the city. So thank you for indulging and believing that to be true.
I can speak to that as well. Many people call our department looking for homes, looking for apartments, looking for housing. In addition, many people call with applications, and as I said, I believe I will be back here many times this summer because I probably get 3 calls a week. Sometimes the application is not quite complete enough to bring to you, so we're working on getting maybe the final documents together before I can actually bring it to council. Multiple people have called and their lots were already gone. One person wanted to get one of these lots, but they came the day after the person that came for this lot, and I said, that one's already going to council. So then they had to find another one, and that's happened multiple times where people were trying to get the same lots and they missed it by maybe only a week and somebody else already put in an application. So I believe we'll have a lot of applications this summer. As I said, there are a few that are pending and we're just getting all the final details together.
Thank you.
What about the idea of having the mobile houses, the mobile houses, that if you buy a lot and bring?
I can speak to that.
That's a prefab.
So in terms of that, they could work with us in the building department just to check the zoning of it. The form would still need to meet all of the building codes and the zoning codes. So I know there's a difference between mobile homes and pre-manufactured homes and prefabricated homes. So as long as it's the right kind that still meets the zoning and building codes, it would be fine. But if it doesn't meet the building codes or the zoning codes, then it would not work.
You're gonna hear from me shortly. We're gonna bring to you the completion of the Sarah Garrett lawsuit in the coming weeks. And there's going to be prefabricated homes coming to Hamtramck for that. The difficulty for any builder in that situation is making sure it will fit in the lot. Making sure that the vehicle that delivers it, they'll build that foundation, if they choose a basement, not a basement, but they'll build that foundation, and then it's getting that structure into the lot as it's built. That's our big challenge in that. But that is going to be coming to council in coming weeks. We're just finalizing the funding and getting all the proper signatures, but that's coming your way as well. So that is, as long as it meets building code, remember that piece, the pitch of the roof, the size, et cetera, the setbacks, you know.
All right, thank you. Any more discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote on this resolution.
Councilman Chowdhury.
Yes.
Councilman Altamaki.
Yes.
Councilman Al Samiri.
Yes.
Councilwoman Chakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Rakai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2256 passed.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-57, approving award of tree trimming contract.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All right, discussion?
So the tree trimming contract, Mr. Diamond unfortunately had a funeral to attend this evening, so he isn't able to be here. So I'll speak to the tree trimming contract. We had contracted with a company called G's Trees. They were from out of town, quite a distance, and when we needed them in an emergency, it wasn't as easy as they had presented early on. They chose not to bid because it wasn't in their service area. The beauty of this company is they are what they call themselves a mom and pop business, meaning that it's people who are trained in this, but they aren't doing a big service area all over. We have checked their references. City of Warren uses them, is very pleased with them, so they're trying to do work in this general area. They stage their equipment downriver. Their pricing, to the questions that were asked in the public comment, their pricing, the $3,400 one is when it's a 48-inch trim or tree removal. It's based on the diameter breast height of the tree. And when you do that, it's using special equipment, special safety requirements, special climbing requirements. Those are always on a per piece basis. It's up to $3,400, and that's clear in the contract. But in order to compare the unit price, we only had one bidder, which was disappointing. But their prices are in line with what we paid previously, and they bill per item, not like a whole contract for the year, and no matter what happens, they do it. So Mr. Diamond is recommending limb walkers, tree and snow removal. They did do a snow removal piece. We like to do that with our tree trimming, simply so that if something were ever to happen to our equipment, or we had an extremely large snow, that we would have a vendor to call on. And quite often, businesses that have summer work also have a companion winter work, because they need to fill 12 months out of the year. So if, in the case that we needed snow removal, they are agreeable to that as well. Lastly, we determine the health of a tree before doing any kind of removal or trimming. Quite often, people ask to have trees cut down and the tree's healthy. We don't do that. If the tree's heaving a sidewalk, we may do it because it's causing damage to the sidewalks around it. But generally, each tree is inspected. We bring in an arborist if necessary. Sometimes they can do a small cut and determine the health of the tree, or they can have people on staff that have that training.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
so Kathy, if I look at the prices here, you know, it has different inches here. And then I see it jumps from $75 to $800 within that, not much of inches.
Tell me where you're looking. So
I'll pull it up on the, I'll put it up on the screen, Kathy.
The handwritten attachment.
So 1 inch, it's almost, from 11 inch to 12 inches is almost $800, where 11 inches is $75. So why that big gap of pricing?
This is what they bid, and it's what it costs of doing business. So a contractor doesn't just have the cost of cutting one limb off. They have to have insurance, they have to pay employees, they have to insure trucks. There's a lot of things that go into a price of a limb. We have them come out on emergencies if something's crossing our road. Stump removal, whether it's large or small, makes a big difference. The time that it takes to do something, to put out cones to protect the community, to move cars, all of those things. So this is the pricing, and, that, the activities cost what the activities cost.
So removing a 11-inch or an entire tree is almost the same price?
Depends where where the limb is on a tree, you know, if they have to climb to do it because it's crashing on. And here's another thing I do wanna mention to you, the health of the trees, these are city trees. If a city tree falls on a car, if a city tree falls on someone's home, I mean, we have a liability there. So we're very careful to make sure that we are continually, you know, using our tree keeper system, which we use, to add new trees. When we plant trees, we put that tree has been planted in the city. When a tree is removed, when a tree is unhealthy, you know, we paid to have a survey of all of our city trees done so that we can make sure that we're trimming them regularly. We don't spend a lot of money on this. This is a small part of our budget. Even though if there was a large one that fell, we'd have to take care of it.
And then the emergency fee here for $450, what do they mean by that?
If they're called on an emergency, like on a Sunday night, that's an additional fee.
To decide what they're gonna
Yes.
charge us for?
Just like if you call, you know, a plumber on a Saturday night, Sunday while he's watching the Super Bowl, you need him to come to your house, you're paying a weekend fee, you know, or a late night fee. That's just something that happens with emergency services.
And then also you mentioned that if our equipment for plowing, break down, that you use this company to plow the city?
I only said that they would be willing to give us a price for that they would do that if we needed it.
Okay.
We have not needed that in past years, but we like having a company that does winter work in the event that there's ever a time when we get a 2-foot snow and we can't move things quickly enough, they would be available for us to contract with on an as needed basis. This is not something we're moving to. We're doing our own snow removal.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councilwoman.
I just wanna, I wanna make sure I'm reading this sheet right, where it says tree removal per DBH 75, that means that that's a multiplier, correct?
Where are you at?
So, where it says tree removal, so it said, because up high it says diameter breast height, so that would be DBH, I'm assuming, which means that the tree removal could be $75, $800, $3,400, depending on, okay.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Chair?
Parmaki?
So, is there any way we could see the contract for the curtain company?
You could. I
Yeah,
couldn't
because we
bring it
wanna-
to you before tonight's vote.
We could compare the prices and
So
see.
that was from 3 years ago. And the prices are similar in a lot of areas, but there are some that have increased. And that company was not willing to bid this time. Their distance is too far to come here. And when we needed them in an emergency, we might not get them until next day or second day.
Gotcha.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Charlie.
I see that there's good references from the city of Warren, city of Jeroboam. I mean, they serving pretty big cities. I just want to clarify, this contract is for the city-owned trees only, not for the
City-owned.
residents.
Correct.
Just the.
And it's only as needed,
Yes.
Councilman. That's something I maybe didn't clarify either. So if we need them, it's not like we're gonna hand them $500,000 to do trees and say,
Right.
come on, do them all in the city. No, we assign the work through a work order, and they'll show up and do 3 or 4 work orders at a time as needed.
Thank you.
All right. No more discussion? You can go ahead and vote.
Councilwoman Jakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Rafai,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilman Abamaki,
Yes.
Councilman Al-Samiri,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, resolution 2257 passed.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-58, approving Phase 2 engineering costs for lead service line projects. Get a
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Councilman.
Hey, Kathy, I just, I think something similar to this we passed in September, right? So we're coming back for another
Correct. This
budget
is-
adjustment?
Yep, this is phase 2.
phase two?
So we did phase one, and that was completed already, and now we're moving into phase two. So this is the oversight of phase two.
And this is the cost of construction observation, construction administration fee,
Correct,
57,500.
correct. And this is typical of what we do when we have our lead service line installs.
So is it going to affect a budget adjustment?
No, we're good.
Or good?
We
Oh,
are good with this, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Go ahead and vote.
Councilman Al Samiri,
Yes.
Councilman Al Brumaki,
Yes.
Councilman Chowdhury,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Rafai.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution 2258 passed.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on now to the reports. And I'll start with my report. So I just want to start with mentioning that COVID cases are going up, spiking high. This past week we had 57 new cases in Hamtramck. That's a big jump from, we used to have, 10 to 20 over the past few weeks. Now it went up significantly. The severity is not as it used to be in the past. And the number of hospitalization is not as many as we used to have, but that's due to the vaccines. But people can still get infected even though they got their vaccines, but that's the best method to protect yourself against COVID. So I urge people to get their vaccines and their boosters if they are eligible. Over the past week, we had several events that I went to. I had the opportunity to go to last Friday to Wayne County Healthy Communities with the city manager. We met with people there on Joseph Campo, and we had the opportunity to learn about the services that they provide to the community, which I didn't have an idea about before, and I'm sure a lot of our residents don't know. So we need to educate people about what services they can get from this clinic, which is, I think, funded by the government. So they provide medical services even to people who don't have insurance. They give vaccines to kids and COVID vaccine to anyone, even if they don't have insurance. You don't have to pay. They help people apply for Medicaid and for health insurance. They have people who speak multiple languages, including Arabic and Bengali. So I recommend that people who need any kind of help with such thing to go there. They also provide some psychiatric and psychological evaluations and therapy and treatment to some people. So it's a great resource that we have in our city, and we'll continue to cooperate and collaborate with them to improve the services to our community. That same day, I went to also had a meeting afternoon with the Board of Education of Hamtramck. We discussed our partnership with them and projects that we are doing, including the speed humps that we are going to install in mid-June. So the cost is 50-50 between us and them. And we discussed ways to improve safety for our students and to improve the quality of education for our public schools as well. And we also went to different events. With Councilman Rafai, we went to the Strawberry Festival. I think you guys went on a different day. It was fun. But like I said, I didn't see any strawberry there.
Another sneaky habit, but that's it.
You didn't go inside?
We
We
did.
go
We didn't
inside.
see any.
We go
There
inside.
is? I don't know. I didn't see any. Okay.
There's the crepes and the
We
pies.
missed it then.
Eyes, oh, yeah.
Okay.
In the basement?
Yeah, big
Hmm.
eyes.
Okay, then for
Ice
next
cream.
time
Next
we
year.
have to learn.
We
Okay.
missed out one. It was in the back. We missed in the back.
Yeah, I also went to a big Eid celebration for the Bengali community on Sunday. And I think those are the major events that I went to over the past week. And I just want to mention I want to ask the city manager to clarify some points that I was questioned about from some of the items in the consent agenda in your report, if you can explain it to the public. They want to know how much the city received from the parking meters, because it's there mentioned how much this company received on, I think last meeting we approved close to 300,000, and now there's like kind of overlap between February and March. There's another 100 something under 73,000 or so. So just explain to people, please. And that's all for my report. And Mayor Pro Tem is not here, so we can move to City Council report if anyone wants to say something.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I just want to mention that both Hamtramck Mutual Aid and the Black Club are meeting tomorrow at Booksui. The Hamtramck Mutual Aid is 6 p.m. and the Black Club is 7 p.m. And they're good meetings. I meant to mention them during community announcements and forgot. So that's all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Oh, sir.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to give a heads up to the community that May 14, which is Saturday, it's a cleanup day. We got lots of things going on right Saturday. Clean up, so bring your teams and friends to this in front of the City Hall, right, Jasmine Park. I'll be here with some of my friends. And just wanted to re-echo Mayor's, the parking meters issue. I'm sure all of you guys received an email from Ms. Ahmed that, Sundays she was ticketed. Sunday was supposed to be free day for parking on JC, but some folks received the tickets, citations later on. They were surprised. So Sundays they're getting tickets from those meters. And they were pretty upset. They were shopping for Eid and other things. And so we do need to look into that. And I'm trying to help the REP programs. I was here this morning from 10 to 1. It is water residential assistant program that I know how to do this. It's on the website. It requires you to bring your ID, tax document, your pay stubs, your social security number, email to apply for that REP programs. So I'm here every Tuesday, 10 to 1 to help the communities. Anyone needed help. And we're going to games afterward. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
That's it.
Do you want to address that lady with the ticket on Sunday?
So I can talk, I can give my city manager report and I'll
Oh.
incorporate it into that if that's okay.
Okay.
All right, so I don't have a lot other than what I announced at the beginning here. We thank you so much for adding that resolution about the grant. It's a lot of work to put a grant request in, and the staff is very appreciative. We will get started tomorrow on bringing in the contractor and beginning that program. It's very exciting. I do want to remind again about the resource fair on June 3rd. Representatives from Wayne Metro will be here with the RAP program that Councilman Chowdhury mentioned. Anyone can sign up in advance, but if you need help and you want to come that day, and it sounds like Councilman is having times where people can come to his office, however you sign up doesn't matter, just get signed up. Because in June, we will begin our water shutoffs. And I don't want people that are eligible for this resource to miss out. It's very important. So it's, if people come in and do the RAP document, they do the low-income household document, they can wipe out their debt really quickly. I want to thank, we had a donor donate chairs that I'm sitting in, that Harry's sitting in, that the chief and our city clerk are sitting in. There were some donations of office furniture, some desks, some other chairs for our staff. We don't have a lot of money to buy new furniture, and when we get a donation like this, we appreciate it. So I want to thank Jim Allen and the Allen brothers who donated some things to the city recently. And I want to thank our Department of Public Service who went and picked it up. They're great. When we get a donation, boy, they go and help us out. So thank you. And Max for overseeing that, Max Garbarino. Parking meters. So the first 6 months of our contract, August, September, October, November, December, January, August was only 2 weeks, so into February. The parking company, MPS, gets all the revenue. And we are on the hook to pay for the mailings during that time. So we pay the mailing, we pay the cost of the internet and the electrical, that's for the meters. They paid the cost of all the equipment, the installation, and the programming, the staff that, at their department, they developed that program, all of that. The first 6 months, they get all of the revenue. The seventh month, which was March, we get half of the revenue, 50%. We still pay the mailing, we still do that. Incorporated into that is the coin collection, the credit card swiping. They manage the credit card swiping, we manage the coin collection. Our DPS workers go out and pick up the coins with a secure system where they put this thing on the machine, on the coin collector, and it drops into a thing. They bring it to our treasurer in a locked box. It's stored in our safe, it's counted, and it's taken by Brinks to the bank. So that's how the coin collection works. There's no human hands touching it in between. So we get to share that second half. So the allocation that was sent to MPS for March, 50% of that was ours. So I gotta get out the check register, Mr. Mayor, and I can tell you how much of that we got to keep, but it was, I believe, 147,000 was the amount, and then they received one half and we received the other. And that will continue on going forward.
It shows like a big amount of money, like I think one is 73,000, the other one is, I'm trying to find it. So is that half of the amount? Because
Yes,
that's what they got even
that's
in
correct.
March.
That is correct. That is the half amount. I'm gonna find it on my,
And we did,
I'm gonna find it on my check register here. I think it's this one. Here it is, okay. So the total that they're getting is 166,930. It's broken down into 2 months. February, 93,417. That was the full amount. They received the full amount. The March to March 31st, 73,513. That was one half. So we have the other one half, 73,513. And out of our 73,513, we have to pay the mailing, and any costs associated with it for the electronics. But we in our, so we receive all the money and then we disperse to them. So that's their half.
So that's total of 100.
It's a total of 166,930 went to them.
No, I'm saying for March, like if we get half 73, that means that
We have the
the monthly
73.
income is 140 something.
Correct. Correct.
and we need to make cabin for that one.
We need to make what?
The
Excuse me?
cabin,
Yeah.
yeah. I need to make
So that, we are working on having a very good reconciliation system. I'm working with that. Our staff is working with that. Their staff is working with it. The court gives us records. We get records from the company on the, and when we collect the coins, we know exactly how many coins are there. So it's a good system, and we'll continue to report that on a monthly basis to you.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Kathy, now
Oh,
going back,
wait a minute. I missed one thing, if I might, Mr. Councilman, I didn't mean to interrupt. I failed to answer the question about the ticket that was issued on a Sunday.
Sundays, yeah.
There will be tickets issued after 6 p.m. There will be tickets issued on Sundays. There will be tickets issued on Eid. And let me tell you why. You are never allowed to park on yellow, in front of a bus stop, in front of a fire hydrant. That's prohibited 365 days a year. That is prohibited 24 hours a day. If someone parks on yellow in front of a bus stop or something, when someone gets a ticket and they say it's on a Sunday, immediately that's what we look for, and that's what happened. So when you get those emails, make sure I'm on them. If not, forward it to me. Someone did, and I appreciate that. Because we address those kind of concerns all the time, and people need to realize that parking on yellow is never allowed.
No, they understand that, but that lady got tickets. She parked in front of the meter. She was trying to figure out which number she's belonged to, and then she moved up. No, she moved back, and she tried to put the coin in, And from that point, she realized that this is the meter gave her the tickets. But I talked to her on the phone today, this afternoon. I called her back. And she said that it wasn't in any fire hydrant or yellow lane or yellow.
Councilman, I'm happy to meet with her.
So she was supposed to be here, but I'm not sure, Ms. Ahmed. Oh, so
Okay.
that's,
We can meet with her in the hallway after the meeting.
so you had a
Yeah,
chance to.
we would not debate this at the council
No,
meeting.
I'm not debating, it's just that, cause I thought, yeah, I didn't met her before. Sure, okay.
Question if you park between two spots, do you get ticket?
You're trying to trick the meters?
Okay, so, public comment was earlier, I thought she wanted to
We're gonna
speak.
have it again.
Okay, yeah.
You can come right out in the hallway, right?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
All right.
So we
you
done?
wanna say
Well,
anything?
she answered.
Okay,
And
good.
that was,
All right. So
But
are we,
I would recommend Ms. Ahmed to address to this, everybody, that your situation that you explained to me on the phone, so public will hear it,
Why don't you,
but, just her,
we can talk to her in the hallway and mitigate this right now.
sure,
Mr. Mayor, it's up to you.
yeah, we can talk after, since the second comment has to be related to the items that
On
we
the
discussed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's time for the second round of public comments.
Mr. Mayor, we have no public comments.
Not even from Bill Meyer?
Not even, I can
Wow.
read- not even Mr. Meyer.
You wanna read his again, just for good?
All right, so then we'll move to adjourn.
Motion, second.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
You guys all fight over that one. What time is it?
7:17 PM.
The game starts at 8:30.
Perfect timing.
Thank you all.